Hello, and welcome to another Tending Tuesday. Today, the day after Halloween, I'm going to talk about what's living behind the mask, which is a topic that is both close to my heart and also part of what's living in culture at the moment. What lives behind the mask? Now, we all have personas, for sure. In other words, we have outward ways of facing the world. We have to, and particularly in the age of social media, we all have avatars, many ways of creating a disguise or a mask that presents ourselves into the world. Sometimes it's ferocity, sometimes it's compassionate, sometimes it is constructed for the purpose of being liked or welcomed, to intimidate. We put on different masks each morning, essentially, before we go into the world. What lives behind the mask? That's what I'm curious about, And I'm not sure that masks or persona are necessarily bad things. People say, yeah, but that's not who you are authentically. Well, perhaps. And two, it's a constructed self that really needs to be part of the worldscape, and there's, some rationale for that. And what lives behind, beneath, under. That's what I'm most interested in. The generative spark that fuses our authenticity, that really deepens our sense of well-being, that is the actual foundation upon which we can stand. Without that place, that internal foundation, we're subject to the whims and we're subject to the reactivity that circulates in everything that we do, with now an ever-increasing manic speed. So how do we touch in to the behind the mask experience? I think for me, perhaps the most important and the one thing that I want to bring into conversation this moment has to do with the time I take in the morning to before going into the world, before putting on the mask, and again, sometimes the necessary mask before that, to take the time to be internal, to listen, to dream, and write those down, to do a kind of active imagination exercise. For me, it's writing. For others, it's sketching or doodling or just meditation, but to take the time to create a life praxis that allows me, each of you, to reconnect first into the depth of psychic reality, and then second, to come and bring ourselves into the world. Yes? Let's collectively support one another in creating that life praxis. However that is for each of us, there's a exercise that I've offered below to begin with. For those of you in the extended dream tending community, know there's all kinds of ways and tools of coming close to creating such a praxis. But let's join together. We need that now more than ever, to support one another, to begin each day not in persona, but begin each day with reconnecting first to the primacy of our experience, to the imaginal depths, the breadth of who we are and what generates our life from the beginning. Be well. I look forward to being with you again next Tuesday.